All right, good morning. It is 9:45. We'll get started. I know we want to hang out here all day. You may have that out. No, we're not going to. I don't know, every time I get up and I have one of these clickers, it takes me back to high school with the laser pointer. I don't know if anybody ever did that. Probably nobody else in here did that. So that was maybe just me. But let's get started. We've got quite a few things on the agenda. So what we'll do, we'll start with the Pledge of Allegiance. The flag is right over here. So if you stand through the Pledge of Allegiance with me. I pledge allegiance
to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Awesome. Thank you so much for doing that. So, a couple things as we get started. We've got an empty chair over here. As we talk today, keep our students in mind. It's hard to believe. It's April 1st. I really wanted to plan an April Fool's joke. I couldn't think of anything good, so I'm going to. But keep our students in mind today as we still have a lot of time left with our students throughout the remainder of the year. So, and then our vision statement. I don't have it up here anywhere. So, does anyone want to say it from memory? There you go. If you couldn't hear that, yes. Very nice. Be a premier school district. So, it's a big word. I know we're there. So get in there. Welcoming remarks from the USD 262 Board of Education. Dawn Stiglitz, the president of our Board of Education, she texted me this morning and she has a migraine, so she's not going to be here. So, on behalf of her and the board, welcome. That's where we're going to go with that. So, and from there, our service awards. So, Mr. Bobby Reed will be doing that. So, Mr. Reed, here you go.
All right, on the service awards, we're going to go through by building, and so I would say hold your applause at the end of each building as we go through the service awards. And as your name is called, please stand, and so you can be recognized. Service pins will be sent out to your buildings and be handed out by your principal. So, transition. Abilene, where's the Abilene people at? Okay, some of the others got to work on that, so when that gets to the next building. So, all right, 5 years. Misty Breath, Julie Raines, Lacey Thone, sorry. I'm sorry. Okay, so I need to apologize and say, sorry if I mispronounced your name. So, 15 years, Pam Smetchel, Diane Truman, and 35 years, Mary Underwood. Marty Underwood. All right, where's the West people at? Okay, 5 years, Nancy Craven, Delina Hoy, Kelly Knobloch, Pam Rivera, and Katie Rice. 10 years, Mackenzie Thompson. 15 years, Molly Graverson. Susan Harder for 20 years, and Jamie Boone for 20 years, and Mary Mitchell for 25. Wheatland. Any Wheatland? There you go. Okay. 5 years, Lacey Chavez, Courtney Crandon, Rachel Davison, Gretchen DeSanger, Rachel McLaren, Jamie Plant, Deanna Query, Julie Rader, Kyle Ray. Those are all 5 years, and 15 years is Jordan Trago. All right, intermediate school. almost in the splash zone area. So, all right, 5 years. Victoria Davis, Amy Maines, Devin Martin, and Danelle Mathis. 10 years, Gretchen Fox, Betty Fossil. 20 years, Tammy Johnson. And then 25 years for the KU Certificate of Service is Christy Jones. All right, middle school. All right. 5 years, Raven Dennett, Denise Newfer, Megan Thompson, Tyler Troyer for 5 years. 10 years, Melissa Fehrenbach and Sarah Harrison. All right, next we have the high school. High school teachers don't have any of these. All right, for 5 years, we have a bunch that have been here for 5 years. Jill Buchenbach, Evan Ham, Lisa Harden, Logan Harpool, Madison Hubert, Carrie Holding, Justin Schwartz, Aaron Shoemaker, Kendall Snyder, Mark Spencer, and the Wilmots. Chad and Stephanie. 10 years, Shelley Ballard and Rosa Tretto. And 15 years, Mr. Hip. All right, next we have transportation. Any transportation? All right, 5 years, Nikki Hips, Trent Nelson, Randy Paxson, Eric Scriven. 10 years, Cindy Large. 15 years, Stephen McDaniel. And 20 years, Charmaine Owens. And 35 years, Deborah Cowell. All right, technology, TLC, and next steps. 25 years of service, Jeff Tracy to education. 5 years, Bradley Hawthorne. 10 years, Chris Edwards. And 30 years, Jerry Truman. All right, food service, we have 2, Shanta Hickert and Bridget Cox for 10 and 20 years. And in the district office, we have Sarah Hayden, who's been here 15 years. And myself, this is my 25th year of education. ASTEC, we have several. We have Lisa Kellerby from Sedgwick, Ruth Klagels from Burton, Michelle Taylor, social worker for ASTEC, 5 years. Teresa Whitner, ASTEC coach, 5 years. And Tracy Tucker, physical therapist, and Stacy, I don't know why I can't read today. Sorry. Rhonda Bugbee is ASTEC coach. All right, next we have our retirement recognition. So I know some principals are going to come up and go through some of these. So our first one is Janet. Come on down.
Where is Janet? There she is. Come on down, Janet. And Janet today has her husband here, Vern, and her daughter, Kimberly, I think, is here to also help celebrate today. So Janet has been here in the district for 21 years. She started out with the AVSEC 618, or Co-op 618, and then she then moved into the AVSEC. Her goal, now that she's retired, is to visit all 50 states, and she has one left. So as soon as she's done with her contracted day, then she and her family are going to Hawaii to celebrate her retirement. And she's an absolute blessing to work with, loves the kids, loves the staff, and so we are going to miss her terribly. So thank you, Janet. Next, Susan Harder. Well, so the three people that we're celebrating today from West Elementary were all hired by Mr. Anspaugh. So he had a great legacy, he chose great people. So Susan, I knew, this is her 20th year, and so she's retiring at the end of her 20th year. So I started working for the co-op 618, and then it became AFSEC. I got to know Susan probably 28 years ago, because her son was in the class when I did my student teaching, and when it was a weekend at 4th grade. So I got to know her as a room parent there, and got to then come over to West and got to work with her. And so her plans for after retirement are that she's going to spend time with the family, with her grandkids and kids, and then she's going to spend time gardening because she's an avid gardener, and then she also is going to be volunteering for her church. So I want to thank you for all that you do. Also, a huge heart for the kids and staff, and we've got some big shoes that we're going to be having to fill, so.
All right, Troy, come on down, and Mr. Clayton.
Yeah, come on down, Troy. And I was just told this is how you pronounce it. Emig? It's actually Troy Emig. Trying to look at his face. That's close enough. Troy and I have known each other about 6 minutes. But the bottom line is this. It takes 30 seconds to know who Troy is. And he is just constant, consistent, and unbelievable to be around. He always tells me specifically what it is that he's thinking. I don't have to guess. And he's always there for our kids. And he's done coaching, PE, and I heard after you retire, you maybe go back to the middle school PBS position. But I do know, I mean, the respect that people have for him, it only takes that 30 seconds. He's an unbelievable teacher, unbelievable man, and I hope he doesn't eat too many paint chips coming up. So, thank you and good luck in retirement.
All right, Mr. Jones. Where Jones, come on down.
Right, I've known this gentleman for a little longer than 6 minutes. So I have a little script, just to make sure I cover everything. Corey Jones has been teaching for the past 30 years. I'll give it up for 30 years. I was 4. So that's 60 semesters. I just asked him this morning, he's done almost all 8th grade science, but did start out in 9th grade science. So 60 semesters of 8th and 9th grade science. He's been in 3 different school districts, but a Hornet for the past 24 years. He's coached all 3 sports seasons every single year, so that's 90 seasons. He's coached football, baseball, softball, wrestling, and golf. Am I missing anything? Okay. Personally, I feel blessed to have known Corey for the past 12-ish years. 7 of those years were as his assistant softball coach. And then the past 3 years with him at BCMS. I wanted to do something special for him, but I'm not super creative, so I asked ChatGPT to help me write a little poem. Thank you, Ty Unround, for the wonderful ChatGPT AI PD. Here it goes. In Valley Center Middle School, where the Hornets hum, there's a legend retiring. He's second to none. A science whiz with a coaching flair. His retirement's a loss we can't help but despair. With wit in his voice and a sparkle in his eye, he made science fun where dreams could multiply. This is cheesy. Exactly what he loves. But it wasn't just science he brought to the game. He coached wrestling and softball with passion aflame. On the mat he'd yell, fight strong, never sigh. In the dugout, send that ball soaring, let it fly. And oh, how did they listen? Those teams did he mold twice. State champions in softball, their stories will be retold. Maybe a third, no pressure. But it wasn't just wins that made him so great, it was the laughter he brought, the tales he'd relate. Like the moments he crafted on the field, coaching with pride, or the lessons in the classroom where knowledge did collide. So here's to you, dear teacher and coach, for all the laughs and lessons you've approached. As you hang up your hat and retire in glee, know you'll always be remembered at VCMS UC.
All right, Patty Paulson, calm down.
Where's Patty? Come on down. Patty is retiring after 39 years in education. So give her a round of applause. She started out her career in Oakville, and that was a part-time position, and then she went to Riley County where she taught for 4 years. After that, she came to Valley, and so she's been in Valley for 34 years. So how many of you have worked with Patty or been a parent in a walking club or something like that with Patty? Yeah, students. How many of you are students of Patty? So if you know and have been around Patty, you'll know that she has such a huge heart, not only for the staff, students, but for the parents. She's opened up our building for walking club. She's sponsored third grade Kansas Kids Fitness Day over our building for years. She's passing that torch on, and so now what she plans on doing, she's a huge sports fan. Her blood bleeds red and blue. If you want to get her mad, that's all you have to say. She's purple all the way through for K-State and for Valley Center. So, but her plans now for retirement, she's going to go spend some time at the lake with some friends. Lori Shaler, I know she'll be spending time over there too. And she is a planner, as she admitted this morning when she was talking to staff. She likes to have everything detailed and lessons down pat. And she said this is kind of scary for her because she's not going to have to do lesson plans and she's going to be on her own time schedule. And so she's kind of a little nervous on the next part. But we thank you for your years of dedication and for everything you've done here at Valley Center. So congratulations.
All right, congratulations, retirees. Next we have BCNEA recognitions.
All right, good morning. On behalf of BCNEA, I would like to congratulate all of our retirees and thank you for your years of service to our profession. We do have one retiring BCNEA member, and that is Corey Jones from the middle school. And we just want to say thank you for your dedication to our association and helping us do our work. And I just want to say to all of you, may you have a successful transition into a world with no alarms, no bell schedule, hour-long lunches with friends at your favorite restaurants, and as many potty breaks as you can fit in during the day. Congratulations to all of you.
You know, when I got up this morning, I really thought potty break wasn't something that was going to be talked about, but I guess I'm cool with that. So, no, that was great. I can only imagine. You know, I remember when I first started teaching, and I thought, oh, I'm one of the young teachers. Yeah. And then someone walked in this morning and said, every time I see you, Greg, you have less hair. And now I'm on that other end. Retirement's closer than the beginning of my career, which is crazy to think. So, well, today what I wanted to do is share a couple things. I want to share information about the upcoming bond, because really haven't had an opportunity to talk to everyone about that. Did it in the fall. That bond didn't pass. I don't know if you heard that or not. So, it's in the news. Anyway. And then talk about Don't Stop Believing. So the first thing really I want to do is just share some information on the bond. The election will be May the 7th. It will be an in-person ballot, so it'll be different than what the first election was. That was a mail-in. This will be in person. So what I want to share is why try again? Why are we trying this again? What's changed from the first time? How much will it cost? And what do I do? That means you. What do you do? So what do you do? Why try again? And really, it comes down to the same reasons that we talked about this fall, and the same reasons we've talked about for a long period of time. And it comes down to capacity, and where we are in terms of space here in USD 262. So you can see, right now, we have 3,180 students. If you read the paper last week, we're down a little bit enrollment-wise compared to last year, about 30 students. However, last year we were up 112 students. So even though we're down compared to last year, we actually have more students right now than were projected for us in 2026-27. We're actually ahead of where we should be then. So something to keep in mind as you think about those numbers. Our capacity currently, 3,437 students. Currently, the intermediate school is at, I think it's 102% capacity. The middle school is at 97% capacity. Abilene is at 123% capacity. And so we're at 96% capacity when you look at all of our buildings overall. We also know USD 262, not just Valley Center, Park City, Wichita. We have the potential for 1,800 housing units within the next 5 to 10 years. I had the opportunity to drive around Valley Center the other day with Brent Clark, the city administrator. I have a meeting with him monthly, and he said, "Hey, have you seen all the new development?" I said, and he goes, "Let's go get in the car." All right, that's okay. If you know Brent, I was kind of like, okay. No, I'm kidding. He took me to Scooters and bought me. I don't drink coffee because that's bad, but I got a cookie. So we drove around a number of different places here in Valley Center. Hidden Lakes Phase 4, that's getting ready, where Hidden Lakes is, getting ready to go in. It'll expand all the way to Seneca. 85th and Seneca, if you've seen the dirt work that started at the corner of 85th and Seneca, that's a new neighborhood going in right there. Right across the street, a neighborhood called Satara. That's in development right there. There's a road that leads back there. There's another one across from 81 Speedway called Arbor Valley. You can drive back there. Those houses are getting started as well. Keep in mind, this is just Valley Center. It doesn't have anything to do with Wichita and Park City. Park City as well, north of Southbrook is starting. There's also a number of developments over there, hydraulic in that area. So, and then North Wichita. We know by Walmart, number of duplexes, and also one thing that hasn't started but will start soon, the rec center is going in. There's also going to be about 200 houses going in just south of here that will be in that neighborhood. Houses, duplexes in that neighborhood. They're going to love Friday nights. I tell you what, that sound system is awesome. It's really loud. So, but it's a good thing. So that's a big part of it. I think that's one of the things people ask. You know, well, you're not at capacity. That's true. We're not everywhere, but we're awfully close. So we've had about 1.4% growth in the last 10 years. That's been our average. Well, if we continue that, we'll be at around 3,600 students in 2034. The last 5 years, we've been at 2.1% growth. If that continues in 10 years, we'll be at over 4,000 students. We are, percentage-wise, we're the 21st fastest growing school district in the state of Kansas. So when you compare us to all 286 school districts from around the state, percentage-wise, we're growing faster. We're the 21st ranked. That's math. So I'm not going to go there. So I'll mess it up. We are growing faster than Mays, Goddard, Andover. When it comes to percentage, we are the fastest growing Sedgwick County suburban school district. Now, total students, different number. They're growing with more students, but we're growing faster percentage-wise. So just some facts to keep in mind as people ask questions about the bond. Why are we doing this? Really, it's capacity. We're full. Well, what's changed? It wasn't something that we took lightly. Right, we looked at the last bond issue. A survey was sent out. About 950 people filled out the survey. What did you like about it? What did you not like about the bond issue? We took that feedback and then adjusted the bond scope based on that feedback. So some of the things we heard, kind of show the next slide. We took some things off. If you remember, the last bond scope was about twice as long. People did not necessarily want a daycare. I talked to multiple families. They have in-house daycares. They voted against the bond because that's their livelihood. The daycare was a contentious piece. Having a pre-K center was not necessarily favorable. There were a number of things that were in there that we took off. So it was Last one was 73,900,000. It's down to 58,900,000. Still a lot of money. The big piece is the elementary school. We know that's where the capacity, it's part of the explanation. Why do we need an elementary school? Again, 4th grade will bump down. Intermediate school will become 5th and 6th again. We will add on about 6 classrooms at BCIS. Middle school will lose a grade, which will create, it's at 97% capacity, will create space at the middle school. High school will be adding on to, I get to use that laser pointer now. 20 new classrooms, there's an extra S in there, I didn't write that. 20 new classrooms at the high school. So adding on space here, this building is at ideal capacity. There are, how many rooms are available, Mr. Clayton, right now? Yeah, none. There are 0 classrooms available here at the high school. And then additional bathrooms at the middle school, that's needed. Have more bathrooms in one area. But you can see one of the things that's different here was that in the last bond, it was people perceived it as nice to have. Now it's need to have. There's a difference there. And a lot of people ask, you hear this, I've heard this, maybe you don't hear this, why don't you save your money? Save your money and buy that. Well, I always ask, did you pay cash for your house? I haven't had one person say yes. Maybe some people have, and that's great. If we save money, let's say we save a certain amount of money every year. That means you're probably not getting raises. We're cutting staff. And by the time you save the $34 million that it's going to cost to build an elementary school, inflation. Yeah, inflation happens. 15, 20 years, that $34 million school is now $54 million. So it's that's a part of it. And that's the hard part, I think. And so that's why with this, we do think some of the changes that we made, it's a 20-year bond versus 25 years. So it'll be paid off sooner. It's a $0 mil increase. And so that means, I know assessed valuations are different. I don't control assessed valuations. You can talk to the county. That has nothing to do with us. But those are some differences. One of the other differences is we have a few renderings. So we actually had the architect draw some, this is potentially what a school could look like. So this could be the new elementary school. Now I say could be because this could change. But we had to do some things just to visualize it better. If you remember the first time, it was just kind of a purple blob on a piece of paper. I think it looks better when you actually have a building like this. So that could potentially be the elementary school. The high school addition, this will be on the back side of the high school, the north side, where the bus line is. Still be a bus drop off, but this is potentially what that could look like. The good thing is it matches, it's built to add on there. And then the last part was something in there that we kept in there, the Supplemental Program Center. This will be a building specifically built for, if you didn't know, we still contract out some services to Mays. Those students that go to Mays would actually come back to USD 262, they'd stay here. Next Steps Academy Learning Center, there could be a lot of potential for this building. We don't exactly have pinpointed exactly what it's going to be, but it would be a building we could do a lot of different things. It's kind of a blank canvas. They said, the architect said, we'll have 10 classrooms there. And I go, well, maybe. So classrooms traditionally, especially with Next Steps or Learning Center, they don't look like traditional classrooms. So it could be a building we could do a lot of things with. So those are some of the things that have changed. How much will it cost? Like I said, a $0 mil increase. So taxes will not go up, and people think that's a lie. It's not a lie. We can't raise the taxes. When you vote, 19.421 is the mill rate for bond and interest. That would be the mill rate for bond and interest. That would not change. We can't change that rate. We can't go back and go, we want to raise it now. You can't. It's against the law. So it is that way. So when people say that, no, you're wrong. Sorry, I don't want to say that, but I'm nice. So. And then bonds start falling off next year. 2025, there are only 2 bonds that we're paying on. Some people say 3. We're not paying on 3 bonds. We're paying on 2. Those payments start to fall off starting in 2025. The district, the board has done a great job. These were refinanced multiple times. It saved the district about $8 million. The previous 2 bonds have been refinanced. So when you look at there's 7 payments, so it's kind of confusing. But when you resell those bonds, they turn into different payments at different times. So that's kind of the confusion behind it. But they'll start falling off, which means we don't have to raise taxes because it stays flat. And then really, what can you do just share information. If people have questions, direct them to me. Happy to talk to whomever. And then also our website, Amy Pavlaka, is awesome if you didn't know that. Our website that, oh, well, great. Well, I had it pulled up earlier and see, Amy would have done better. So, if you haven't had a chance, on the corner of our homepage, there's 2024 bond information. It's a ton of question and answers. If you have another question that's not on there, let us know. We want to add it to the list. So, one of the things people ask, can I be involved in the actual bond? Vote yes or vote no. You can, as long as you're not on school district time. We talked about this in the fall. As long as you're not using school district time to do that, you're doing things in the evening, using personal email, that's your own prerogative. You can put a vote yes or vote no sign in your yard. You can do that. You have the ability to do those things. So, really the main thing I wanted to do today, share information. Haven't had a chance to talk to everyone, and that was the big piece of this. So, again, if you have questions, holler, let me know. I would say raise your hands with questions, but we're not going to do that. So, and then the last part of this morning that I want to talk about is don't stop believing. If you remember this fall, which some of you probably blocked it out, I get it. We talked about believe. We talked about Ted Lasso. If you haven't had a chance, go back and watch it if you haven't watched it yet. We talked about believe in Ted Lasso, and I have believe on my shirt. So we talked about some of the things he talked about. Be a goldfish. Right, 10-second memory. I'm sure this year we can all relate to situations where we should have used that 10-second memory. That be curious, not judgmental. I can think of multiple situations I've been in when I should have been more curious, not as judgmental, mostly with my own children, but anyway. And then I think about I fell out of the lucky tree, hit every branch on the way down, landed in a pool of cash and Sour Patch Kids. I think that's just funny. And I do think, when I think about believe, and I think about what we have the opportunity to do every single day. That's what we get to do. So I thought about that. I thought, you know, this is the near year end. We still have some days left. But how do we not stop believing? So there's this little song, maybe you've heard of it, called "Don't Stop Believing," right? And so I'm gonna sing, not well. Don't worry. Well, some may. So, if you think about that, I thought about the lyrics and I thought, how is this us? How is this what we do every day as educators here in USD 262? I thought, just a city girl living in the 262. She took the school bus going to West. Right? So, we got some city girls riding the bus to West, right? And then we got, maybe, just a city boy. No, not this time. Just a country boy. Born and raised outside of Park City. Took the school bus going to BCHS. So, I thought about that. I thought about the lyrics of that song. I thought about our kids and the backgrounds for all of our kids. They come from so many different places. Our district looks so much different than 30 years ago when I was in school. Totally different. I think about students here. We have students who moved in that speak Swahili just in the last few months. We have students that come from a variety of backgrounds. We do our best to educate every single one of them. We keep believing in those students. So then, I thought a singer in a smoky room. I really thought, for those of you that are older like me, Motley Crue, like smoking in the boys' room. I was going to go that direction. I thought, no, let's not do that. Smell of wine and cheap perfume. If you're doing that, talk to me after. We'll talk right outside here. Don't worry about it. So, moving on, a student in a classroom, smell of books and action perfume. Now, I will tell you, elementary, acts, maybe not. Intermediate, yeah, it kind of starts. Middle school, oh yeah. They're like, yeah, that's acts. For a smile that will make their day. Some days it goes on and on and on and on and on and on and on. But the good thing is, some days those days are long, but a smile that will make their day. Every day you get a chance to make a day. And those days may go on and on, but think about the interactions you get to have with every student every single day, in the hallway, in your classroom, wherever in town, at Walmart, right? Everywhere we get those opportunities. So some days they go on and on, but that smile can make all the difference in the world to our students. So, strangers waiting, students walking, up and down the hall. I can't stop. Teachers making sure they're okay. Lay that out there, but that was the goal. Same thing, smiling teachers, making sure our kids that are walking down the hallway are okay. Job one, right? We know. Eat, sleep. Well, they got to have those things, those basics in order to learn. Making sure our kids are okay when we see them. No matter where it is. That's what we do every single day, whether it doesn't matter, we're all teachers here. Doesn't matter your title. That's what we do all the time. And if we keep believing, new life heralds up and down the classroom walls, showing students the light. I think about technology, I think about so many different pieces of what you do every single day. New line panels are just an example. That's not everything. That's one piece of technology. We know, we learned from COVID, right? Technology isn't going to replace a good teacher. It's not going to replace a good staff member. It's not what it's going to do. It's about more than that. Well, we've got great technology here that we're able to do so many things with, and then as it comes down, right? This one was pretty much, yeah. Don't stop believing. Hold on to that feeling. Teaching people. Don't stop believing. Every day. It's hard. Some days are long. It's tough to keep believing at times. I thought about the statistics as I was writing these things down. Don't stop believing. What? Really? How much time what have we done? Well, even though we're the end of year, it's the near end of year. Been in school for about 140 days, 1,027 hours, 62,000 minutes. That's how long we've been here so far, right? It's a lot of time. The one thing we have to remember is today's April 1st, right? It's not May the 20th, it's April 1st. We have 38 days left. We have 280 hours left with our students. 17,000 minutes. As I thought about this, I'm an old high school teacher. I was a high school teacher back in the olden days. I thought about, then you kick yourself, right, when you reflect on this. You go, man, I should have done better. You never know when that kid in your classroom, you may never see him again, especially as a high school teacher. I've forgotten more students than I remember. What did kids think about me when they left? Was it good? Was it bad? How are kids going to leave your classroom at the end of this school year? Are they going to leave your classroom going, man, I'm going to miss this room. I'm going to miss this teacher. Are they leaving your classroom going, whew, I'm so ready to be done with them? How do you want to be remembered? How do you want kids to leave your room? How do you want them to leave the school? A lot of kids, I can think back multiple students through the years as a principal. Kids would move in. They'd stay. We have some transient families. They were in for a few months. I can remember one family that moved in, and man, we worked our tails off with this family. We really tried for probably 3 or 4 months, and then they were gone. Teachers upset because we felt like we were connecting with them, doing some good. The goal is for them to think about their time in Valley Center. Man, I really liked that town. I really liked that school. Those people were so nice. That's what you want. That's what believing's all about. So, as we move forward into the rest of this year, we still have a lot of time left. I give this to, if you think about, I'll get a sports analogy, right? Mr. Unrout talked about this at admin meeting the other day with Solner. It's the fourth quarter. You ever watch football games, right? What do they do in the fourth quarter? They hold up the 4. It's the fourth quarter. It's crunch time. If you look at sports, look at the Chiefs. They didn't give up. They kept believing. 13 seconds. See? That's all it takes. One interaction is it. You have to keep believing the rest of it. We have a lot of time left. This is it. It's crunch time. Where are we going to go from here? So, with that, keep doing what you're doing. Keep believing in yourself. I'm excited for the rest of this school year. It's going to be great. I have no doubt. That's the end of my message. So, we're going to sit here now. I said 10:40, so we're just going to sit here for 15 minutes. And then you will be, when we're done, dismissed for lunch. Go back to your bill, your department at noon. So, you have some extra time. I apologize. Sorry I didn't go right up to the time. So, thank you for entertaining me. Have a good rest of the year.